I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys. You have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president.
So Nicki knows exactly what she's doing. She's playing Game of Thrones. And here's what Nicki realized: fame won't be enough. Ask Diddy. Fame isn't the same as power. Nicki looked around and said, who has the kind of power that makes institutions bow? And she found her answer: Donald Trump and the Republican machine. She sees how proximity to presidential power makes people untouchable. Nicki is doing what empires do when they are surrounded. She's seeking a bigger army. But here's what Nicki hasn't grasped about the art of war. The enemy of your enemy is not your friend. They're just using you until you're no longer useful. Nicki thinks she's gaining protection, but she's actually volunteering to be a pawn in someone else's war.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I had to share this with you. Nicki Minaj is just shocking a lot of people right now. You've been shocked by her before, you know, going in on Cardi B's little daughter and a few more things, but now a lot of people are scratching their head. Some people are canceling her because she joined Erika Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, on Turning Point USA. She sat down with her and she praised Trump. She talked about her Christian values and a lot of things. Now, here's the thing. It's nothing wrong if a black person wants to be a Republican or independent or a Democrat. You can, I know it's a controversial thing. You know, a lot of black people usually are Democrats. I'm not with being a sheep. I'm going to pick with who I want. You know, if I want to be an independent, whatever, you know, but you do have to look at things. You have to look at things and do the most research that you can. But this is just shocking a lot of people. A lot of people think, is there something more going on that, you know, some of them are saying, oh, she wants a pardon for her husband, or is the Illuminati trying to make her do something? Like, what's going on here? So look, I'm gonna show you what she said. She said a couple of things. She said that Donald Trump was handsome. She called the vice president Jay-Z. Okay, she said things about her Christian values. And again, this made people question things because Nicki Minaj's brother, I believe she was supporting her brother. I'm not 100% sure, but he went to jail for 25 years for raping his stepdaughter. Okay, a child, her brother. Okay, now I know she can't help what her brother did, but then she went and married her now husband and the father of her child, who also was charged with rape, and his rape has been charged with rape, and the woman that he raped has been very vocal about it, still crying about it on camera, talking about it. And look, they've gone back and forth about it, but that is who she married. So people are thinking Christian values and all this other stuff, and that's who you married and everything. So look, let me be quiet and let's look at what she was saying, sitting down with Erika Kirk. She also said some things about black women. Basically, don't hate on white women who are beautiful. You're beautiful. You don't have to insult them to make yourself feel beautiful. And black women got upset with her also saying this as well. Okay, the ones who do that, because not all black women have an issue with a white woman being attractive, if she is attractive, but the ones basically online always going in on white women. Nicki Minaj was I'll read to you what she said. Let's get into this right now.
You have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine. Yes, we did. I love you.
But what it's shown me personally is sometimes, you know, even in the worst feeling times in your life, you think that you're never going to come back from it. But you do. And our president shows that. He's been through every single thing a person could be through publicly. Having to constantly be lied on. It's not really that funny. Until you are in that person's shoes that's being lied on, you'll never understand what it feels like. That person is a human being. They have a family who has to read those lies. And I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact. He's from Queens, New York, like me. We won't be silenced ever again. We will speak up for Christians wherever they are in this world.
Now, he did stand up for, I believe in Nigeria, the Muslims, Nigerians are taking the lives of Christian Nigerians. And he said that he wanted to step in and do something about that. So Nicki Minaj applauded him for that because people don't talk about that. You know, people always focus on different countries like the Middle East and, Islamic regimes, and they want to do this and that. And they never mention what goes on in Africa as well with religious wars. So, okay.
Amen. Again, Charlie would always say, it really does not take skill to be courageous. It takes a choice. It takes a decision. And I want to say again, thank you for coming and being courageous and being able to share your heart with us. And the reason why that also holds true sentiment-wise is because I know that you are getting a lot of backlash from your own industry. What is your reaction to that?
I didn't notice.
Amen. I feel the same way.
I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president.
Can you tell us about your relationship with God? Because I think a lot of us want to hear.
Sure. Well, my relationship with God started, when I was a toddler in Trinidad. My grandmother, if things got spicy in the house, like if the kids and grandkids were arguing or fighting, she would make all the little kids go in her room and make us say and say a prayer. So later on in my life, not much later, when I was like 10, 11, 12, I started going to church in New York. And it changed everything. It changed my life for the better because I was going every week. I was hearing the word of God be preached. And then I was going home and I was applying it to my life. Even as a little girl, I learned how to pray very early. I always had this faith that made people think, the kind of faith that you think a person is crazy, like, oh, please, like, but I had that faith instinctively once I started hearing about God and, just getting more into the Bible. I got baptized when I was about, yep, amen. I got baptized when I was about 13. I got baptized. And I have just always applied those teachings to my life. I try to. And that's the thing. We're not perfect. We try. Sometimes I would wake up and feel so far removed from not God, but from fellowship. I was like, oh my God, I used to go to church on Friday, and Sunday every week, like literally 3 days out of the week. And then later on in your life, you become busy and you start thinking, oh, well, God is in my heart and, but then sometimes you can be in an industry as well that pulls you away even more. So lately, I've been feeling like, like if you haven't seen a long-lost best friend for a long time and then you bump into them again, that's how it's been feeling for me, like just going back and praying and talking to him. And, and he said to me, where were you? Where have you been? I've been waiting. And since that moment that God had that conversation with me, I've been in such a better space. Because now it's just, I'm thinking about, is God pleased with this? Not if the bullies and uglies are pleased. But if God is pleased. And when you have that personal relationship with God, guess what? Even in school, He's there. Wherever you are and whenever you need it, you have something that you can tap into immediately. Immediate. You don't have to leave a message. He's not going to call you back. He's there immediately. Soon as you call on him or ring, he's going to answer. And I want you guys to remember that. You're young. And first of all, I want to say, I'm proud of you. This is a major, to be so young, for you guys that are in college, to be so young and to care this much, this early in your life, it tells us how smart you are, and it tells us that there's hope for our future. So God bless you. Congratulations, you guys. You're amazing. Congratulations, you guys are amazing.
Okay, the things that she said about God was very nice, but it's just always interesting to me when I see celebrities whose music is absolutely degenerate and filthy, always talking about God, but what the things that they promote is completely opposite. Now, Nicki, it doesn't always have ratchet stuff. I don't listen to everything. Some things, yes, and some things not as bad. But again, she married a rapist and all of that. And so that's what she said. But a lot of people didn't like her praising Trump. They don't like that she's MAGA. They think that something's up behind the scenes while she's doing all of this. And, people can change. People can change. People can acknowledge, okay, I did something wrong. I was wrong for what I said about, a baby and all this stuff, or I did this and that, and I'm a change. To repent and means to restore yourself, to stop what you're doing. It means to change your ways, and anyone can change their ways at any time if they really if it's a decision that you want to do. It's not easy for everyone, so if that's something that you want to do, if you feel you're doing something bad, or, you've become Christian, you're reading the word, you're reading the 10 Commandments, and you don't want to do those things that's considered bad and all that stuff. And some stuff you should have common sense. It's just bad to do. But I'm just saying. So Nikki gave her word when it came to God, but before that, she said Trump was handsome, JD, the assassin, and all of that. And she has caused a stir again because when Trump said that he was going to go to Nigeria to get those Nigerian Islamic extremists who were going against the Christians in Nigeria. You know, there were people upset with that. And that's pretty interesting because so many people claim to be Christian in America. So why is it different to you because it's Africa? I mean, you claim you don't like the Muslim regime. Some of you say this is so bad, but yet is it only for people who are in Saudi Arabia? And, you know, Africa has the most Muslim Islamic people outside of the Middle East, like over 700 million. I'm just saying. So, yeah, a lot of people, they don't like seeing Nikki like this. You know, they feel she's pandering to Trump. Oh, she wants a pardon for her husband, or she's trying to clean up her image because of the horrible things she has said and done and all that other stuff. What do you feel? Let me show you a video of the public's opinion and the beef that she has with Gavin Newsom.
All right, so this is interesting. Nicki Minaj at Turning Point USA is an interesting and very calculated move. So Nicki knows exactly what she's doing. She's playing Game of Thrones. Let me see if I can give you a presidential party breakdown. So Nicki has systemically burned bridges with nearly every woman in hip hop: Cardi, Meg, Lotto, Remy. The list just goes on. Then she made the fatal mistake. She went to war with Jay-Z, not just any mogul, the architect of modern day hip hop power structures, the man who decides who eats and who starves in the industry. Billboard stopped playing fair. The Grammys won't give her the crown. And here's what Nicki realized: fame won't be enough. Ask Diddy. Fame isn't the same as power. Nicki looked around and said, who has the kind of power that makes institutions bow? And she found her answer: Donald Trump and the Republican machine. Not because she cares about Christianity, not because she's suddenly discovered conservative values, but because she's watched how Trump operates, how he bends systems and don't care. She sees how proximity to presidential power makes people untouchable. Nicki is doing what empires do when they are surrounded. She's seeking a bigger army. But here's what Nicki hasn't grasped about the art of war. The enemy of your enemy is not your friend. They're just using you until you're no longer useful. Sun Tzu taught us that the greatest warriors win because the battle starts through alliances built on mutual respect, not mutual desperation. Nicki thinks she's gaining protection, but she's actually volunteering to be a pawn in someone else's war. Trump's coalition doesn't protect black women. It consumes them. Ask Omarosa. Ask Candace Owens. When they're done with her, you think they're bringing Nicki to the table? Nah. She's on the menu. So the real art of war teaches this: when you're isolated, you don't run to a bigger empire. You build your own. But here's what she's going to learn. Borrowed power has an expiration date. And when Trump's empire doesn't need a female rapper from Queens anymore, when the culture war moves on to the next token, Nicki will find herself more isolated than ever, burned by hip hop and used up by MAGA. She wanted to play Game of Thrones, but she forgot the most important lesson. The throne doesn't protect you. The throne is what everyone's trying to take. Nicki Minaj is desperate, and desperate queens make decisions that end dynasties. All hell Nicki. Unfortunately, someone is advising you in a very ill way. I'm Madam President with a Z, and I'm 100% politically incorrect, and I'm here to finish what Harriet started: move or die.
Nicki Minaj, this is the third time you've been in my office in the last 5 days, and none of it has been for your music. What is the motivation here? Because when Erika Kirk, JD Vance, Trump, MAGA, and Turning Point no longer need you because they won't, you're going to turn into Amber Rose. They used her one time. We don't know where she is. I hope she's still with us. When they no longer need you, what are you going to do? If you, all this talk about, oh, I'm putting out an album, Barb's, get ready. I have heard nothing about your music. We've seen nothing about you writing. We've never seen you in a studio, but you have time to be sitting on a stage with Erika Kirk. Nicki, what do you get out of this? I'm genuinely asking. I'm very frustrated because I don't see how this benefits you at all. The only people winning out of this is them, unless this is for your brother. I'm not putting that on you. I'm just saying I'm doing context clues. Because it can't be because this is going to further your career. Now, are you already established? Yes, but who of the new girls would work with you? None of them give Republican. Coi the Ray doesn't give Republican. Lotto said, F Donald Trump, I ain't vote for this president. I know you're not working with her, but I'm just saying. Mona Leo said all the non-blacks to the back. I know she's not going for this. So again, who would you work with? Unless, you're only going to work with men. And if so, I mean, honestly, that kind of gives you are a boy mom. I don't know. But like, what is the motivation for you? You're an immigrant, you're black, you're a woman, and your fans are gays and trans. What are you getting out of this? Genuinely, as a PR person, I don't know how you pivot, because the one thing that you're most known for is the one thing you refuse to do. Music. Nicki.
So now that Nicki Minaj is basically a Republican, are the Barbs ready for the MAGA era? MAGA Minaj, the MAGA Barbs, the Trump Barbs, the Barb Trumps. I'm sure y'all will think of like a clever name for that, but are y'all prepared for it? I'm excited for this. Y'all need to get y'all pink MAGA hats ready, because she has a new album coming out. Y'all need to wear this to the concert. Also, y'all should be paying attention to Trump's Trump rally tour for 2026, because he might bring Nicki out. Trump and Nicki Minaj are both from Queens. They might do a surprise pop-up Trump-Nicki Minaj rally in Queens. You don't want to miss it. I think I'm most excited for the MAGA Minaj merch, because I feel like that stuff is going to be worth something later on down the line. I mean, who knows? This could potentially be bigger than her Fendi collab and her Kmart collab. 2026 is gearing up to be a good year already. Nicki, she doesn't rap about her WAP because she's the queen of rap, and just Republicans don't do that. That's those nasty ass Democrats like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion doing shit like that.
Can we all collectively agree that this was so unnecessary? It was so unnecessary on so many levels. And listen, I'm all for people going in whatever direction that they feel is right. Okay? But the thing is that I don't even believe that this is really how she felt.
I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president.
Fine. And you're allowed to feel that way because it's your opinion. I just wonder if they feel the same way about you. Okay.
I don't know if he even knows, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys.
Okay, well now you're starting to lose me, sister. Because hope for no food, beat the bad guys. Well, never mind.
What it's shown me personally is sometimes, even in the feeling times in your life, you think that you're never going to come back from it. But you do. And our president shows that. He's been through every single thing a person could be.
You're losing me again. Been through everything people can imagine. Like being rich. Like being handed down money. Like being wealthy your whole life. Like, what are we talking about?
Constantly be lied on. It's not really that funny.
About constantly being lied to. Because that's how we feel from them. Is that funny? Is that ha-ha funny or like ha-ha funny?
Until you are in that person's shoes being lied on, you'll never understand what it feels like. That person is a human being. They have a family who has to read those lies.
I just know Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton are all watching this thinking, yeah, it's pretty hard. It's not easy. I can tell you firsthand.
This administration is full of people with heart and soul. And they make me proud of them.
Full of heart? Well, I guess they are going to be full of heart because they have health care. to take care of themselves. But I don't know if people full of heart would leave millions of people without health care or without food. I don't know. Let's just wrap this up.
Okay, so Nicki has also been very vocal against Governor Newsom, Gavin Newsom, and I really like Gavin Newsom, but apparently he says he wants to see more trans kids, and Nicki Minaj was not trying to hear that. And I don't believe in giving the hormones to the children. I don't believe in confusing them. I don't believe in the hormone therapy or surgeries or none of that. Baby, when you turn 18, then you can choose to do all of that as an adult. But yeah, I don't believe in coming for the kids. Okay, so I'm going to play what Gavin Newsom said, but this is what she said. Nicki Minaj said about Gavin. She said, because he might run for president, okay? And she said, imagine being the guy running or wanting to see trans kids. Ha ha. Not even a trans adult would run on that. Normal adults wake up and think that they want to see healthy, safe, happy kids, okay? So she's like, we're not trying to hear this. Let's see what he said.
We didn't get into trans sports. That's an issue no one wants. 80% of the people listening disagree with my position. But it comes from my heart, not just my, it wasn't a political evolution. It was
position being that
I don't think it's, I want to see trans kids. I have a trans godson. There's no governor that's signed more pro-trans than I have, and no one has been a stronger advocate for the LGBT. We didn't get into trans sports.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't believe in confusing children's minds. They're children. Okay. I'm not going to buy you dresses or boys' clothes and confuse you. When you hit puberty, you know more of who you are. And when you're 18 and they say that the mind or the brain doesn't even fully develop until you're like 21 or 25 years old, you are a legal adult at 18. Then you can decide how you want to dress and all that. I'm not funding hormone therapy. I'm not letting you chop off your private areas and all that other stuff. And I'm not helping confuse. And no. So I do agree with Nicki Minaj on that. Okay, what he said. He's done a lot of amazing things as a governor. He has. I believe he's the governor, not senator, but yeah, the governor. He has done a lot of amazing things. Okay, but I don't agree with him on that one. Okay, so Nicki had publicly said some things. Okay, she says, all right, I had read that already. She had a little Chucky picture. She also says Gavin is the cute boy who got everything handed to him because of how cute and smexy he was. He was like, ooh, look, I'm sitting here in that suit with these sneakers on. He thinks he's Tom Cruise. The only difference is his next mission is I don't want to laugh. She says his next mission is impossible. He should get another leading role. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. She says, oh, Gavi Poo, it only gets worse from here for you, buddy. It's the end of the road for you, my love. Get on the nearest jet ski and let that beautiful hair blow in the wind. It will make you happier it will make you happier than this race that you will not win. Enjoy your life. Peace. I'm not saying I fully agree with her. It's just funny. And then she has the Chucky doll. The Chucky doll. I guess that's supposed to be Gavin. Okay, so I mean, he might win. He does do a lot of things to help people. He does. Okay, he might win. So what she said about black women, stop going against white women who think they're beautiful and saying things to go in on them, or you're beautiful and you need to stop doing that. Okay. And I agree with not putting women down. Anytime any woman period gets online to rag on another woman because of her race and complain about, oh, you're seen as pretty, that makes you look insecure. You look jealous and you look insecure. If you know you look good, you're not intimidated by other women. But we know about, people say, oh, the hierarchy or things you see on TV and all this other stuff. I will talk about that in another future video. But this is what Nicki Minaj says. She says that recently in the media, it's almost been like a push to not just making young black children feel proud of themselves, but it's almost like doing that and at the same time telling other children not to be proud of themselves, non-black children. And I don't want any child to feel that way. I agree. If we as black women felt that we're not being represented and not being admired for our beauty, why would we want to do that to other women? Now, hold on now. It's not white little girls are always having, they see themselves on TV. They're not suffering from a lack of acknowledgement or being told that they look good by most of society, including black men. So let's not pretend here. Even though, yes, black women are beautiful, Indian women are beautiful, Arab women are beautiful, Hispanic women are beautiful, Asian women are beautiful. The list goes on and on. Every woman has beautiful women, okay, in my opinion. I've seen so many beautiful women. The thing is, though, we don't live in a society that always shows that all the time. You know, the diversity, you see it a little bit more in America. You see it on the commercials, you see it in magazines and everything. In fact, some people think that white women and white people, period, are being pushed out because so many people feel, oh, I'm tired of white supremacy. Oh, we have to phase them out and this and that. I feel like everyone should have representation. Okay. So she says, don't do that to them. You don't want it done to you. She says, no, that's not how it works. I don't need someone with blonde hair and blue eyes to downplay their beauty because I know my beauty. Yeah, and I had said that in a video, like, I'm not going to say a white woman, if she's attractive, why do I have to lie and say she's not attractive just because I'm supposed to be in some beauty war? No, if you look good, I'm going to tell you, I think you're pretty. You know, regardless of what race you are. It's this whole back and forth we're all doing with each other because of this competition and the hierarchies and all this other stuff. She says that I know my beauty. I don't want what's done to little black girls done to little white girls. It's not done to little white girls, though, on average. Okay. I don't, even though there's been an uptick of people doing that a little bit. I know what she's talking about. She says that I don't want it done to any girls. I want all the little girls in the world to know that you are unique, you are beautiful, and you are you, and you can complement each other. And I agree with that. You can compliment another woman and still know that you are epic and amazing. So that's what I would say about this for the girls. I know my adults understand clearly where I'm going with that. I don't like people making other people feel bad about themselves in any way. That's kind of ironic, being how she went in and Cardi B's little daughter. Even she says she was trying to make a point. She'll grow up seeing what she said about her. We need to nurture young girls, whether they are black, white, Asian, Hispanic. They need to be nurtured. And I agree. They can't continue to pay for other people's sins. They haven't done anything wrong. You know, the little children growing up, continuing these race wars, putting black women and white women especially against each other. The thing is, though, if people really believe that, you have to have everybody represented equally. And that's not the case still. If you want them all to watch TV and see themselves, you know, all over the place, everybody gets representation, everybody's beauty, everybody's skin tone, everybody's hair texture being represented. You see it here and there. But I mean, we are only 13% of the population. And then you have the issue where black men completely make little black girls feel like crap because they never like to represent their beauty for over 20 something years in their media. Let's keep it all the way real here, but that's a whole different video. Okay, so that's what Nicki had to say. So that is it for this video. What do you think? And there's a lot more I missed out on. At the end of the day, all women and little girls are beautiful and should have representation. And let's stop this back and forth. But things are not equal yet. But that's what people want. We want to make the world and the country better. But it's a lot of work that has to be done on all sides, everybody. Okay, but we don't hold the power, a lot of us. So that's a whole different video, Lord. But okay, what do you think about Nicki Minaj going on the Turning Point USA speaking? Do you feel she's lost her mind? Some people think she has lost her mind. How do you feel? How do you feel? Does it bother you that she's Republican? Do you have an issue with black conservatives? Do you think she's crazy to support Trump? Will this make you lose respect for her? Will you not buy her albums anymore? Do you think she's done? Do you think she's crazy? What do you think is going on? What is your opinion about this? So that is it for today's video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell and click all notifications so you know when I'm live and when I'm uploading. I cannot wait to hear your opinion. I probably left out a lot more things to say, but I just wanted to share this with you. People are not feeling Nicki Minaj turning MAGA. What do you feel? Let us know in the comment section. Everyone's welcome. Bye, everybody.